Hello and welcome to Linux Normal, and this is a new segment, that is going to be called the Daily Normal, and I'm going to maximize this here. And I am in the VM of the system that I loaded up with my last video, and what I'm going to do is in these Daily Normal segments is demonstrate how an average user would just simply do a task that is very common for just, for people to do every day. That is one of the things they're almost certain to do with regularity. And what this first installment is going to be about is just simply email. How you can use email and work it, and for you to demonstrate exactly how easy it is. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new Google account, Gmail account, to establish the email, and then I'm going to bind that Google account to this desktop operating system, so that that account, whether you use, say, if you start using the Google Calendar and their services, is going to work and be synced in with a lot of the other the things that, like this calendar here, things like that, right? So anyway, so okay, let's get started. So I'm going to go ahead. First thing to do is make a Gmail account, which is a very common email account. I know that a lot of Linux people are going to right away discuss, or they're going to talk about privacy concerns and things like that, and those are all very valid and they're very true. But again, I'm really catering to just the common, just normal person that they're already embedded into Google and Windows and things like that, and it's a big enough step for them to even begin to trust somebody that's not Windows or Apple. And that's a big enough step to start off with anyway. So this is, if somebody is curious about privacy concerns, there are plenty of resources that they can look up. I'll go ahead and maybe link one or two in this video. So if you're curious about what maybe some alternative email sources might be to Google, then you can use those. It's fine. But for demonstration purposes, I'm just using Google. Let's see. So what's the first name going to be, huh? Okay, how about we go Billy Gates. Username. It's for comedian. It's for comical purposes. I'm not going to mess around. I'm not going to. It's just to be funny. Okay, and the password we are going to make the password. And I'm going to go ahead. A lot of people save, again, it's a general rule to have save your passwords in the browser is not a general a good thing to do. But anyway, I'm just doing like this. What normal people would do. So all of this is optional, and this is just for purposes here. So birthday, we're just going to make up a birthday. Gender, we'll say rather not say, just to keep them wondering. privacy. Yeah, I encourage everybody to read through those things very closely. This is Firefox, and it is the default web browser. Okay. Okay, now, good old Billy Gates here is in the Google ecosystem. All right. So what we're going to do is we're not going to, so you could just check it here. I'm also going to link that to, I'm going to close that for right now. I'm going to link that to the system. So what I have to do is go to the settings and passwords. Where's that passwords feature? That's probably here. And all these are the default settings for the most part. I did change this for the data collection. It's kind of a habit. This by default will have this, and this, I believe, on. I don't think this was on by default. I also changed this to HTTPS only mode in all windows. This is the default. That's what I did. Again, it's a little bit of a habit thing, but anyway. So, saved logins. All right. Now here's the password here. I'm going to copy this password. And what I'm going to do is go to a new workspace. So I'm going to do Control Windows key or Control Super key, as they say in Linux, down, and whoops, it's still there. You see this is still open, but this is just, there you go. This is a clean workspace. And what I'm going to do is go into the settings here and go to online accounts. And I'm going to connect the Google account to this install. And right here, the email is BG. I can just copy it. And paste it there. Go next. And copy the password. Paste it there. Go next. All right, now right here, it's all set up now. It's going to use, you can deny some of these if you want, for printers, files, photos, documents, contacts, whatever you want to use. You can just cherry pick if you want for the, again, testing purposes. I'm just going to leave all this on. Printers, I've kind of old school, but the average person is just going to leave it all on and just soak it all in. So there we go. That's all set up. Now we can close that. I'm going to go back here and close that. Just close it all. Okay, now since that's all set up, now if we want to have an email client, all you have to do is hit the search bar. That's just the super key in here. And you can just put email if you want, and it's going to pop up the Geary. This is the default email program. And as you can see right away, bam, look. You don't have to enter anything. This is checking it right here. Boom. And this is, you're using this as a source now for your emails. This is a very basic program that I don't particularly like personally. So if this looks like it's a little hard for you to use, to check your email, there's one that looks a little bit more Microsoft Outlookish and for Linux that we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to install it. It's very simple. So far, what I've done to get an email account has been pretty self-explanatory. Everybody, a lot of people have done that. How to link it to this operating system was a little new, but as you can see, it was very simple to do. You said to, if you write down your email or your passwords, you just put your credentials in. I saved them in the browser, and I went into the spot in the browser where the password was stored and everything, and I just kind of copied and pasted it over so that now it's in the operating system, and I don't have to worry about it. So I'm going to go to the pop shop here to go to home if you want to look for something new. And what we're going to look for is called evolution. Right here. Okay, this is a email client that is a little bit easier to use, in my opinion. I like using it. This is what I use. It has a flat pack. It also has an Ubuntu Debian package, which is smaller. And for the purposes of this VM, because the space is very limited, right, I'm going to go ahead and use the Debian package because I don't want to fill up the spot in the hard drive that's dedicated to this sort of demonstration operating system. Although with that said, I'm going to go ahead and see if this it must not have registered all the characters there. So it's doing that. Since I put the authentication in once for this session, I don't have to keep doing it whenever I put the stuff in. And we're going to install there. It's going to be all installed, and I'm going to, oh well, I guess it's installing everything. When I hit the installs down here, it must have installed the actual program itself instead of having to hit the install button up here. So it's already there. So I could start right now from here, which you could, but I'm going to close this now, and I'm just going to look for it with the handy dandy search key. I'm just going to put email in again, and now it gives Geary as well as evolution. So let's hit evolution, and what we're going to see if it's going to automatically check the email we just set up, and because it's in the operating system, we're going to have to enter it sort of old school by hand. And as you can see, as I make it bigger, it has the account already in there. And you might have to finagle with the preview window, right? So there's that. It's going to automatically block remote content. This is why these question marks are there, and it's all. But you got this. This is the calendar. If you have anything in the Google Calendar, it's going to automatically kind of show up in here, which is kind of nice. I like having that. It's got contacts. This is a fresh email or Gmail account, so there's no contacts. It has its own calendar system here, things like that. So there you go. Go back to the mail. I just use actually the email version of this because I use the calendar that's up in here. You would see if you had stuff scheduled in the Google Calendar, you'd see little dots in here. It would give notifications when you have upcoming appointments or whatever that's happening in your Google Calendar would show up in here too as alerts. Now, I did not do. Here's evolution again. I'm going to start that back up. I forgot to. Now, if you want this to always be down on this bar, all you have to do is right-click here, add to favorites, and now it's going to stay right here. It's been added to the favorites, it says, right? You can just kind of close that with the X, and you can close this here, and it's right there. You can move it around to be wherever you want, you know, right there. Now, it's a little annoying for a lot of people to always have, especially a partial bar like this. Last little thing I'm going to add on this video is how to use what they call IntelliHide to make sure you can use all of your disk space or your screen space for that, because this looks kind of funky and is a little annoying, right? So there's that. I'm going to close that for right now. Go here. Actually, let's go ahead and use a search bar. I just searched in the search bar. I put in dock. This is called a dock. Probably could have used panel too. Let's see if it comes back to that if I use panel. Yeah, sure enough. Let's see if Taskbar works. No, it's not Windows. Sorry. Anyway, that jumps right to in the systems, in the gear settings, right where you can modify the dock. All right, and what we want to do is have it right here as the dock visibility. It's always visible. I always like to have it IntelliHide, right, so that when you have something taking up a whole window, boom, it's gone. But if you go down here, it should, come on, come back. It should. I'll come back there. Let's just try it with something else. There we go. Evolution. There we go. That's up. That's the whole screen. You have your email. Oh, great. Okay, nice. This right here is email that's saved on the computer. So if you go here and you save an email onto your hard drive, it'll show up here. So if you want to see the bar, this is in this VM. This is not IntelliHiding. Really cool. It's coming back, but it's not. Usually when you have the cursor go down like this, it'll pop this right back up. Let's see about the web browser. Let's maximize this. It's not working real well in this VM. All right. On my system, I'm going to go ahead. Okay, as you can see, this is just a program on my computer, right? If I were to so here's my Firefox here on my computer. See, when I come down, it's IntelliHide. It pops up, no problem. So that's probably just a quirky thing you don't need to be worried about too much with that VM. On real hardware like this is, it works just fine. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. And there we go. That's how you kind of connect a Google account to your, after the fact, to your operating system. This Linux operating system known as Pop OS. And this is how you find a very workable email client to use, or if you prefer to use the web browser, you know, there's nothing stopping you from using the web browser to go to Google and doing your email stuff there. And the web browser, I always like to use the client myself. So that's just me. Anyway, well, thanks. I wanted to keep these video short. Obviously, I did ramble yet again a little bit. I promise I'll try to do a little better about that. But again, I'm a little new at this, and so there we go. I'll see you next time. We're going to make these a daily event, and until I run out of ideas. Have a great day. This is Linux Normal signing out.